Greetings and welcome back to Smartwatch Ticks. It's a wonderful day as we get ready to unbox yet another fun smartwatch. We are a YouTube channel dedicated to smartwatches, and smartwatch technology. And you can find us on the web at smartwatchticks.com. Got to get it right. Smartwatchticks.com will take you right over here to our YouTube channel where you can check out all these different reviews on all kinds of watches, including one like today's watch, which is a new Android 4G. Oh, it opens this way. Whoa! A 4G rectangular square Android smartwatch. Wow! Wow! Whoa, things are falling out all over the place. Let's talk about it. I've never heard the first word pronounced, so I'm going to butcher it, make the X silent, and call it XANES. It's an XANES DM2018 4G, Bluetooth, GPS, Wi-Fi, all that stuff. 4G means, on cellular, you're going to have high data rate connectivity in restricted areas in the world, and we're going to see if we can figure out some of those. We have the bands, I believe, in the specs, and we're getting to those as soon as I tell you that you can pick this up from Banggood, our partner in all of these goodies. Check out the price down in the show notes below. If I can get you a discount coupon on it, I will. And we really appreciate it when you use our links to buy these watches, because that helps these guys send us more watches and give us more things to review, which has been going on for over 3, almost 4 years now, I think. Anyway, we're looking at the DM2018. Here's all the specs on it. It's running Android 6, it says. Oh no, that's the system that it'll work with. It's got 1 GB of RAM and 16 GB of ROM. You see anywhere where it says what it's actually? I guess Android 6. iOS 8, that doesn't make sense. Literally, it's brand new, so I don't know if it's an Android 5.1 yet or an Android 7. We'll get to that when we turn it on and look in the system info. 320 by 320, which is a really nice sweet spot. That means most of your apps will appear on it without any problem. It's 1.54-inch IPS. Sometimes the 200 by 200 are a little bit too small, but I like 320 by 320. That's good. Or 360 is often good too. Microphone battery is, a whopping 900 milliamp hour battery. That's good news. Okay. The functions. Okay, it's saying Android 6 4G smartwatch. So I guess we're running Android 6 in this. Then overall, here are the features. Okay. Wow. All right. This is all right straight from Banggood's website. So, to continue with the unboxing, we have a screwdriver, I presume, once we get into the watch, to take out the SIM cover. We have a screen protector with a little notch cut out right there. And we have a manual in here, too, in Chinese and English. But let's open it up first. I'm going to take it off. It's a really wide band on this one. Very thick, wide. Definitely, I'd say a men's watch. It's going to look really bulky on a woman. It does not look like the watch bands are removable. They're definitely in there solid. And I imagine the antennas are in the little sections before you get to the holes there. It's got the charging ports for the T-style charging adapter. It's a regular magnetic coupling adapter that'll charge right onto there. Heart rate monitor that's extended up, so it's going to create a light shield, which is good for getting your heart rate. On this side, it says SIM, and there's the screws that you'll need the screwdriver to get into. I presume that's a speaker right there. On this side, the microphone, 2 buttons, and it looks like it may have a screen protector on there already. And you notice that little thing right there, if I can get it in the right light? That appears to be a front-facing camera. Wow. Okay, lot to discover about this one. Let's check the manual out. We've got, okay, there it's identifying all the buttons and things that you've got on it and what they're all about. More information. It's in text style. Now, generally, these use a nano SIM, and once again, with respect to these signals, they have to all work on the GSM network. That's a given. And that's AT&T and T-Mobile in the USA. Beyond that, the network has to support 3G and 4G on the bands and frequencies that are used by the watch. And that's in the specs somewhere. And if all that matches up and you're really lucky and you get a good signal, you'll be able to connect your watch using a SIM card with a phone number on it that's inside of your watch to 4G data rates as you use your watch. But that's all predicated on everything working perfectly and that you've got data service on a SIM from a GSM provider in your country on the compatible frequencies. This uses the Fondue app. We've all seen that one before. Not the best tethering app in the world by any means, but it's the one that's commonly used by these Android watches. The good news is if they ever update it, the update will apply to all of these Android watches because they all use the same app. Okay, some more information about operations, main features, and so forth. This is a dual language thing. It looks like we should be all the way through English already by page 12, but they've got quite a bit of stuff they want to share with you. Okay, precautions. And here's our last page. All right, that's the manual, Chinese on this side, and that's the box, and then unboxing. And next, what we're going to do is peel this thing off, like so. Notice it left a screen protector there. You see the edge? And you've heard me say before, I got mixed feelings about these. If they're clean, like this one appears to be, with no bubbles, and it's not sluggish when I try to slide across it, I'll go ahead and leave it on. But most of the time, I just go ahead and peel it off and work on the glass itself. So far, I've never had one of them break on me or scratch on the glass. Some people have, but it's up to you. And you have an extra one in the box anyway. If you took it off and you decided you wanted to put it on, you have a backup that you could use. Okay, now we're going to charge it up and turn it on. So I ask you, have you ever known Mr. Tix to give a bad review of a watch, huh? I mean, really? Look at the little cutout notch there. This is supposedly a screen protector. Yeah, if you just rub it a little bit, it comes up with a bunch of bubbles. Oh, I'm just getting started. First of all, apologies for wasting your time. There, I said it up front, but I want to tell you about this Chinese-only watch made for China. It's got potential. There's a SIM card with screws that hold it in. The speaker, I think we got over this stuff. We've got 2 buttons on the side, and if you compare it to the X11, we did a review on that one earlier. You see there's a lot of similarities. We have a front-facing camera here. Here it's on the center. We've got integrated bands. We have the SIM card on the side. We have 2 buttons. We got a whole review up on the X11, so that's available for you. Now we are looking at the DM2018. And once again, the company I never heard of before. I believe this is coming out, being released by other companies that we recognize who are rebranding it. This might be the original manufacturer for all I know. What I do want to tell you is it's really, really set up for China only. If you know about China only, you know that they don't have Google over there. That's something that has to be added to the overall software through the firmware process. So you can get your Google Play Store, you can get your OK trigger for, activating the voice search or those kind of things. The Google Maps, and on and on and on, all the portfolio of Google software, which, by the way, is supported by something called the Google Play Services. And I believe there's a couple of other frameworks or other things that run in the background. Anyway, bottom line is it's something that pretty much needs to be installed by the manufacturer before it goes out to market. In a moment, you're going to see that none of that software, absolutely zero, nothing Google, is on this watch. So if you don't want or don't use the Google Enterprise, if you want to have a device, at least one device in your life that does not automatically track where you are, smell what you smell like, taste what you taste like, then this could be the watch for you if you're willing to hook up the charging cable to the computer and sideload APKs, your apps, into the watch and install them that way without downloading them from the Google Play Store. If none of those depend on Google, but could work with Wi-Fi or possibly cellular, if you're willing to do and interested in doing all that, then you might have yourself a good watch here. But for those of you who don't have a lot of technical skills to want to get into doing that, or even attempt, this is also a very good watch face for outside because of the high contrast. This is one you want to put on if you're going to go out and be able to really see it in any environment. Nice that they did that. If you want to be able to see all your stuff, you got to do some of these technical things. And if you're really, really sophisticated and know what you're doing, to be able to try and install the portfolio of Google-ness in here, well, have at it. It'd just be nice if it was like half the price since you're not getting the Google software. Let's look at the layout. You just saw all the watch faces that come stock with it. When you come up here, oh, look at that. It's 100% and it actually rotates. When you get 99, it'll just be a fixed number. You have a few things. Here's cellular. You can turn on and off. Wi-Fi. And this shows you your cellular connection. And no, I do not have a SIM in here. It's supposed to use 4G, but if you looked at the manual, it's restricted to China Telecom. You see we have 4 dots down at the bottom, and it specifically said it wouldn't work in the European market for the non-international version. Here we've got the flip your wrist to, the silent versus sound settings are here. Vibrate and sound, and I think that's none, and that's sound. Okay, here you get into all of the apps that you've been running in the background, and you can close them out one by one. Notice how they're all in Chinese? Well, I did change things to English recently so that at least we can read it. By the way, it ships totally in Chinese. Here's your Bluetooth toggle. We had the Wi-Fi and cellular over there. And then this is your overall brightness. Takes you right in here. I'm going to set the time up. You can go as little as, 15 seconds and as high as 30 minutes. And you can, of course, adjust your brightness level directly here to fit what your needs are. And we want it pretty low, I think, because full brightness is like that, and it really blooms. This could be a good watch for outdoors. And it's a handsome fella. Let's get this down a little lower and get out of here. And just show you quickly. If you are a man, basically, or have a large arm, and you put it on, you're going to see you've got a nice watch. You got a really cool front-facing camera. It's got all that good stuff in it. Just doesn't have anything Google. It just doesn't support the 4G as far as I understand outside of China. So this watch in an international version may be really good, but that's not what I'm offering you today. Okay, that was the first one. Then we come over, look at 66%. I'm upside down. That was the last dot. And working backwards, we've got there. And then here, this has the SOS function. So you can put in a person's phone number that you want to call in a crisis. And I believe you press and hold one of these buttons or do some magic thing. Hopefully you saw it in the manual. And it'll ring your SOS contact. Airplane mode, quick to go into settings. And this says connect to Bluetooth. Okay. That's already started. I'm not sure what that is. I think that's just pairing to your phone. Wow, it's still almost too bright, isn't it? And then settings, we'll go in there. And then your notifications are way up here. So we're in that top tier. This is that main tier, which is where your watch faces are. Over here, you usually have notifications, but on this watch, we have the whole portfolio of sports fitness stuff. Okay, it's starting to look better, isn't it? Even without Google. You got walking, indoor running, and so forth and so forth and so forth. Okay, cross country, half marathons, full marathons, cycling. I like to look at the cycling because if it's going to use GPS, this is where it would show up. Look at that, folks, waiting for GPS. This is one of the few Android watches that has GPS integrated into the fitness section. Nice. So once it acquires it outdoors, which I guess it's attempting to do right now, but it's probably not going to because we're indoors, then you would go ahead and it would beep at you and you could get started. If you want to go ahead without GPS for doing the measurements, you can do that. Starts flashing the diode, gives you the countdown, and now you got all your data showing up on one nice screen right here. Your time and mileage and energy and average pace for a bicycle. I think they got the wrong display here. Usually that's replaced with speed. And there's your overall pace. Here's more information. And you can stop motion here if you want to. So we've got pretty nice data here, and it's integrated with GPS. We have the settings here. And when you go in here, look at this. You can set alarms for every kilometer or low power? Interesting. Okay. Your user info, which is where you set up all of your parameters. And you can change the background setting to be colorful or just plain black and white. Right now it's in that fancy colorful thing where each page you changes the picture, right? Okay. Here's a nice outdoor run. This is more characteristic of where you'd see the pace on here. And step counts. Okay, it's doing, I guess, a pedometer method of doing it, plus your mileage from GPS, energy, your pace. Again, there's the time showing up. Yeah. And those are the three screens you get here. And stop motion. And there should be a summary placed somewhere here. Your history. And this is going to show in each page all of the different things that you've done, the activities, which is what we just started. And that's all in the tab, if you scroll right, that's just to the left of the watch face. If you scroll the other direction, you get into the app drawer, and that's it. So apps on the right, sports on the left, scroll up, and you're getting into the summary of, wow, you're getting into a lot of things. Oh, whoa, look at this, it's got a compass in it. Okay, it's not going to be the worst review I've ever given. I just wish it was not the China-only version. It was international. You see that? It kicked in, and I'm north, it kicked in the compass without having to do the whole figure 8 thing, but that's always good to do for calibration, just to make sure it's working right. So on the far left tab, swiping to the right, you've got a compass. Then you've got your step count, calories burned, and miles. In a pedometer sense, and these little things, I guess, are tickets for each of those. Here, we can actually test your heart rate and see your records. And here, you can, it's doing a blood pressure testing. This is an Android watch with blood pressure testing built in. Very interesting. It seems to have it all. You're covered for fitness with GPS built into a lot of the movement activities that actually cover distance, especially for cycling. It's crazy when you have cycling and it's computing your distance based on the pedometer. Huh? Unless you're on a really bumpy road. Anyway, I digress. So I'm wasting time while it's testing my blood pressure. You saw it also has heart rate. And there's giving me my blood pressure reading. And it said something about doing it over 3 times, blood pressure curve for the last 1 time. Okay. And it'll continue to accumulate that in a chart. And that's the end. Blood pressure, heart rate, pedometer, and a built-in compass. Down below here, which has all of the fitness and all of the apps. Down below here, which has a bunch of little icons that you can press to go places, and your notifications as well. It's got my history data now in notifications. Cool. What we haven't covered, and this is where I get really frustrated, is the apps. Look at this. This is stock, of course, because I don't have Google to download anything in here. I've got a clock. I got settings. Here's your communications folder, which includes phone, messaging, and contacts that would be tied in with the SIM card. That could be either 2G, 3G, or 4G, depending on your location and the capability of the watch to support it. You've got a generic browser. You've got your overall tools, which is basically a calculator, which is a simple little thing, but nice sized digits that make it easy to see with a total. You've got a calendar, which is your basic monthly calendar. There is a today button, and I think that just takes you back to today on the calendar. Well, what am I doing wrong? Oh, okay, you got to swipe it like that. It's highlighting the first of the month. No, it's not going back to today. Anyway, basic calendar. Now you got the camera. We'll come back to that too. And then your media center, which is probably going to be your gallery and videos, depending on what you shot. But you can usually get to those through the camera. We've got this. I have no idea what this is. Oh, I do now. It's in English. Alipay. That might mean there's an NFC card in here, and it's tied to Alipay in China. Again, this is the Chinese version. My guess is you won't see that app for sure outside of China, and you probably won't see anything related to payment because they're not set up to do Google Pay or Samsung Pay or Apple Pay. But the hardware may be in there for future upgrade if they do a firmware update. Okay, the watch management, this is any downloads you do, and here's File Manager. I want to show you this, our internal storage being a 16 gigabyte total storage watch leaves almost 12 gigabytes available for all of your apps and things. And I don't see a clock skin folder. Doesn't necessarily mean you can't put in custom watch faces. It hasn't been tried, and the default folder isn't there. Okay, and that's basically your file folder for contents. Then there's a music center, and you have a sound recorder and a music player. May as well try this one out. We get in here, and we're testing out the sound recorder on the XANES DM2018. I stop that. Now, and I save it. Okay. Before I do this, I'm going to go over and check the sound in the settings. I'll be right back. Just as I thought, all the sounds were set down to their lowest level, which is what I do with every watch, so it doesn't wake us up with an erroneous alarm in the middle of the night. Now it's full volume, and here you go. We're testing out the sound recorder on the XANES DM2018. Stop that. Okay, it's not very loud, and it's kind of muffled, but it does record. Not nearly as loud as when I just adjusted the sound, which I'll show you when we get into settings. It does have good loud sound in this watch. The app is just pretty lame right there. Then you've got style. You see we're doing it in the curved style. You can change to a 4x layout or 4x with different icons. So you've got those three. And I like this because we're just going sequentially. Won't lose track. Here's our Bluetooth assistant, which is to find the phone and your remote camera button and all the typical things. And for the Connect, it wants you to go into FunFit and download the FunFit app to work with all of this stuff. And finally, more. More is where we have, okay, the Chinese equivalent of WhatsApp, maybe, QQ, and WeChat. So those are the little additional pieces of code they put in here. And if you do sideload any other apps, they will probably show up in this More folder after you get down there. Now, if you did have the Google software, you would see it in here. The Play Store, the Maps, all of those things would be showing up in here. Challenge for you guys, if any of you buy this watch and you can get Google software running on it, let us know in the show notes. Let us know how you did it. I don't think it's as easy as just downloading the Play Store and then loading it in from the computer to the watch and then running it. It might be that running the Play Store will automatically cause Google to download all the other things it needs to work. That would be awesome. I haven't gone there yet. This is just a look and see about this watch. Couple of things yet to cover, right? We've got settings and we got the camera we want to play with. And I'm going to find the settings from here, or I could have gone on the other side. Okay. What are we running after all? We're going to go down to About This Watch and see that there's the model number. We're doing Android 6.0. There's the build number for this one. So you can check your firmware and see if it's newer than that. Then hopefully you've got a international version that's been updated. That would be great. Okay, coming from the top, we've got the basic Wi-Fi, which is where you connect to your networks. You've got your basic Bluetooth, where you can change the name and you can turn it on and do all of that stuff. And then you got wireless, and you've got airplane mode and tethering and portable hotspot capability for Wi-Fi or Bluetooth tethering. Hotspot and tethering setting for the IPv4. That means if you got a beefy battery charged up in this thing and it works with your carrier with a SIM card, you could set this up to be a Wi-Fi server for your tablet or something when you're out and about. Virtual private network is probably what you need to mess with in order to get the cellular thing to work if it doesn't work right away. And you see where it says cellular network shaded out. If we put a SIM in here, that'll light up and you can mess around with that too to try to get it to work. If any of you get one of these and you get it working on any cellular, let us know if you had to do anything, what you needed to do. Remember, it's GSM by definition. That means it's only going to work in the USA with T-Mobile or AT&T. Where are we? We're at display. You saw that already, your sleep time and brightness level. Sound, I just wanted you to hear this. Here's the volume level. I'm going to crank it up. You hear that? Plenty good sound. So you should be able to carry on a nice conversation if you're doing video chat or even just regular telephone calls. You got ring volume, you got call volume separate. All of that's in here. So you can vibrate, you can do all sorts of things. So the sound is decent. We got the front-facing camera. We got a lot. You got the fitness stuff integrated with GPS. This is how all the watches should be. It just needs to have international software put in it. You have normal mode and speed mode. Now, I had no idea what speed mode is, but we're there, okay? Your lift hand to make it bright can be activated or deactivated. That'll show you the time when you twist your wrist. We got notification pop-ups capable now. And I believe when you turn that on, if you have notifications, they'll pop on top of your watch screen. So you don't need to go in and do other things. But it's a feature in there. Here's your overall user information for the fitness stuff, but we saw how you could get that to that in that section. Your overall date and time for your time zones and using the automated time zone or not. Your language and input, where you can change keyboards. Look at that. Google Pinion keyboard is in there, but there's nothing else for the text-to-speech. All that is Google, and it's not in here. Your battery level capability, off-screen net, that's an interesting one. Intelligent standby, refresh, battery saver, and so forth. We have about 4 hours left at that discharge rate, and it's showing you which apps are using the power. So you can see if you've got a power-hungry app and delete it or inactivate it. Your general overall apps are in here, and like anything, you can go in here, you can disable it, force it to stop, you can clear out the data from it, and you can uninstall apps as well for the ones that are not your core apps that are stock. SIM card management. Okay. We don't have one in here, but there's your preferred SIM for cellular data. This may be where you control some of the data movement. Your overall security, where you can do a screen lock if you want to. And you're going to want to turn on unknown sources on this one because that's the only way, I guess you might want to read that. That's the only way you're going to be able to put apps in here is activating that and transferring them through a cable from your computer probably, at least to get it started. since we can't get to the Google Play Store to download something like AirDroid that you could transfer over Wi-Fi. Yeah, a little complicated. Security, backup, and restore is the basic stuff. And then, of course, the About Watch we just went into. And that is settings. And that takes us back to the... How's my hair? Okay. You guys don't care anyway, right? I mean, you've seen the worst of me on these cameras. Here I am, back again. You know, that looks pretty clear. I wonder if this is this an 8 megapixel camera? Is it 5? Is it up interpolated? What do you want? Tongue stick out? Okay. How did that work? Oh, open with gallery. Or I could open with these other things. WeChat or the Chinese. Anyway, I'm going to open always with the gallery. Yay! I got my tongue stick out there for you. Wow. That is zoomed in. Whoa, is that my tongue? That's too much. We always like to test pinch and zoom to see if we have multi-touch, and we don't. And it went back out of here. Come back here, picture. I'm not done with you. Double tap, double tap. So there's just one zoom rate, and it's huge. There's my nose, for goodness sakes. Oh, my goodness. Good thing I cleaned it out this morning. That's what you got on the pictures. There's no multi-point touch in this. And for video, when you go into video, it's recording as if you were in portrait mode, right, on a regular phone. So if you're doing video chat to a phone or you're going to record something and transfer it, it'll look like this. And we save it. And here's our settings that you can set up and do things for your camera, for your video. Lots of different options. Video quality is fine, but it's not saying size. Here, look at that. Picture size 8 megapixels. So we got a true 8 megapixel camera on this too. Okay, it's suddenly becoming one of my favorite watches. I might just go ahead and sideload all my apps and just be done with Google. Just have this do everything but Google. We can also do these things. We're going to set it to be on the video player always. There's the audio. Yeah, I can double tap and expand it to full size, and you can move the image around on the screen. Lots of capability here. Very impressive. Okay, well then, what are we gonna buy? Yeah, XANES DM2018. It's a 4G data capable, it appears to be, but not sure what countries it supports. Watch. Look in the show notes. I'm going to try dropping a SIM in there, and I'll let you know if it works or not. I haven't done Antutu or any of that other stuff. That would be a deeper look at this. This is kind of just a first overview of it. I was really ready to shoot it down. I really was, because it didn't have any of the Google stuff, and I couldn't even find the fitness until we got going. It wasn't in the apps. But it's got a lot going for it. 8 megapixel front-facing camera that you can definitely Wi-Fi to do your live Facebook or FaceTime or messages or Hangouts or whatever. All that's capable in it. It's got fitness integrated in it that ties in with GPS. And it's an attractive watch. Not bad at all. I'm impressed. Okay, you've been watching Smartwatch Ticks. Appreciate your subscription, and check out the buying links if you're interested in this, coming to us from Banggood. And we will see you again soon. Woohoo!